way too many graduates this year. All right, could everyone who is one seat back, one row back, try to make room for the next set of graduates, please? And please, no one call the fire marshal. Yeah, 4 seats. Okay, very good. Please be seated, if there are enough seats.
Easy.
Good afternoon. My name is Reza Galabi, and I'm the head of the Department of Chemistry. It is my honor and indeed my privilege to be welcoming all of you to our 2026 spring graduation ceremony. I do appreciate the fact that we have so many graduates, and as I heard earlier from our faculty, we are not the math department, so we're not good at counting. I appreciate the audience making room for all of our graduates here today. This is an outstanding turnout for our department. The spring ceremony usually is a standing room only, and we have some overflow space in Dabney 124 as well. We're going to be watching this on the live stream. But it's a testament to all the family and friends who are here for turning out and celebrating our graduates. As opposed to the more formal university ceremony tomorrow, ours is a much more personal one. And I invite the audience members to clap, shout, and cheer as loud as you want when the names are called. And to come down and take pictures with your graduates, feel free to do so. Just be careful, as you know, these are notoriously dangerous Dabney Hall steps, so just be careful about that. A little bit of a somber note, though. While today is a day of celebration, and we will get to celebrating very soon, I do want to take a moment for those who could not be here with us today. The department is mourning the loss of 3 family members of our faculty and staff who passed away just this past April alone. Joshua Miles Lull, son of Catherine Lull, our departmental business manager, Patricia Starr-Maher, the aunt of Laura Shermaniak, our associate head of chemistry, and William Andrew Tanner, family of Robin Tanner, who is our graduate program coordinator. Let's pause and have a moment of silence to remember them and all of the family members, friends, and supporters of our graduates who could not be here with us today to celebrate their successes. Thank you. So let's get back to why we are here, celebrating our graduates. After a somber moment like that, nothing helps more than a little bit of humor. So I'm just going to start off by saying what everyone is thinking. I look like a bumblebee, right? And I look like a bumblebee because we're wearing our academic robes today in honor of our spring 2026 graduates, the colors of which represent the alma mater institutions from which we received our highest degrees. So for example, Phil Castellano and I both went to Johns Hopkins, so we are fellow bumblebees. I think University of Pittsburgh has the very nice regal colors of Professor Josh Pierce. I think Hogwarts is what Professor Williams is wearing right there. He's used to this joke after, I think, 15 years of it, right? So we do recognize the traditions of academia, which go to our core values as an academic department. These values are to support the teaching, research, and service missions of NC State University. In a time when education is being politicized, in a time when our system office is making moves through the claims of transparency to improve what has been described as flagging confidence in the state's higher education system, whether warranted or not, when class syllabi are being put under the microscope, let me be as transparent as possible to the value of the NC State Department of Chemistry and its degree recipients seated in the front rows. So how do we define value? We can look at the department first. The Department of Chemistry this year alone taught 40,000 student credit hours among the top 5 departments at NC State. In fact, we were ranked number 4 this year in student credit hours alone. But we did so with one of the smallest contingents of faculty, meaning chemistry faculty teach more student credit hours per faculty member than any other department on campus. That's value. The Department of you guys are going to be applauding a lot, actually, which is good. The Department of Chemistry has a state-appropriated budget of roughly $8.5 million, and I want to thank each and every one of the taxpayers and tuition payers in the audience for that. That goes to your commitment to us. What our commitment to you, then, is we received $11 million in research awards ourselves, meaning that for every $1 invested in chemistry, we brought in $1.30 to the state of North Carolina. That's a 30% ROI, return on investment, making us the top department in the College of Sciences when it comes to research dollars awarded per faculty member. And that is on top of the hundreds of publications, conference presentations, invention disclosures, patents, and startup companies that also represent our research productivity. That is value. But what is the value of the chemistry degree alone itself? In monetary terms, the lifetime earnings of a high school diploma recipient are $1.6 million in today's dollars. But that jumps to $2.8 million for a BS degree recipient, $3.25 million for an MS degree recipient, and over $4 million for a doctoral degree recipient. That is how an investment in education can tackle affordability, and that is value. According to the federal government, the demand for chemists is expected to have an annualized growth rate of over 5% over the next decade, well above that of most other fields. That's because chemists do amazing things. They make the medicines that the doctors use, they innovate the batteries that go into your cell phones, and chemists create new materials that underpin virtually any product or device that the engineers rely on. That is value. But actually, the biggest value is seated right in front of us. The very graduates that we are honoring today. The next generation of scientists who, as educated citizens, will contribute both to the workforce and to society with their critical thinking skills, their innovation, and their ability to make informed, data-driven decisions and choices that will benefit their field, their community, their society, the state of North Carolina, and beyond. That is an investment worth making, and that is the best value that we as the Department of Chemistry, as members of the College of Sciences, and as North Carolina State University can bring. And with that, I look forward to the rest of this ceremony to honor our graduates. I now invite Professor Tatiana Smirnova, as she concludes her first full year as the Director of Graduate Programs, to honor our graduate students.
Thank you, Dr. Gilani. So on behalf of our graduate program, I would like to welcome our graduates. I'm happy, you're happy. Whatever is happening there. So I would like to welcome our graduates, their families and friends, our faculty, staff, and our honored guests. Today, we are not just celebrating a collection of graduate degrees, we are celebrating years of hard work, to be precise, on average 5 years of hard work, curiosity, and resilience. Graduate education demands great effort. You guys had it all. Long hours in the lab, seemingly endless revisions of your papers and other writings, manuscripts, but also remember those gratifying moments when everything works and your ideas are verified. Graduate school is never a solitary journey. Behind each of you is a network of mentors, family members, partners, colleagues, and fellow grad students and friends who believed in you. To them, we extend our deepest gratitude. I also wanted to acknowledge our faculty and staff. Your research advisors guided you through the complex world of chemistry, pushed you to think critically, argue with data. They provided mentorship, encouragement, occasionally hot pizza. To our graduates, whatever you do next, you go to industry, academia, government, or startups, you carry with you not only the specialized expertise that you earn here, but also the habits that define advanced study, critical thinking, careful inquiry, and a commitment to evidence and ethical practice. These are exactly the qualities the board needs now. With this, it's my pleasure to introduce our graduates and their advisors who guided them. Because we award degree also in the fall and in the summer, many of our graduates are not in attendance. They're already there making their contribution to the real world.
They're making money.
He can read my mind. One of many talents of our department has. So, with that, please let me figure out how to get the microphone out. I'm experimental physical chemist, so I'm supposed to figure that out, right? So, the procedure. I have to see what it, oh, okay, good, I don't have to read it. So our first graduate is Dawn Ponvin Howe, and she will be presented by her advisor, Dr. Jonathan Lindsay.
So, Lynn has synthesized a compound that can carry radiation and upon injection into the body will home to ovarian cancer. We're very excited about her research. Lynn is from Vietnam. Her family owns a coffee farm there. We always wonder when students come to NC State from a foreign country, will they be able to adapt? Will they be able to assimilate? I once had the privilege of meeting her father. And through an interpreter, I asked him, "Sir, what time do you arrive in your coffee fields every morning?" He said, 5 a.m. So I said, "So, what time do you expect your daughter to arrive in the lab every day?" And he said, 5 a.m. Lynn, let me just say that youthful indifference, which means blowing off, what your parents expect is almost an American birthright. That you've adapted very well. When you went further and married an American guy, I realized that one could look up the word assimilation in the dictionary and see your picture there. Congratulations and welcome to America.
Professor Lindsay, don't go far, because our next graduate comes from the same group. Two men who died Chan is going to be presented by Professor Lindsay.
Dewey carried out the total synthesis of bacteria chlorophyll A, which is a magnificent chemical achievement. I said, Dewey carried out the total synthesis of bacteria chlorophyll A, which lies at the heart of photosynthesis, and doing so was a first-in-the-world accomplishment. It's a magnificent feat. Dewey works very, very hard. And in science, when we say someone works hard, we don't mean that they just pulled an all-nighter or they worked on a weekend. We mean that they worked for a period of years with undistracted attention and focus to accomplish a particular goal. Dewey's work style is a whirlwind in the laboratory with multiple reactions going on at the same time. And I want to explain exactly what this means. So when a student gets a PhD, it's based on an apprentice model. So Dewey got his PhD from me, and I got it from another person. And this academic genealogy goes all the way back to the beginning of modern science. And so ours traces back to Berzelius, a Swedish chemist, around 1800, among others. And one day, Berzelius visited his British counterpart, Sir Humphrey Davy, and Sir Humphrey Davy gave him a tour of his lab. And Sir Humphrey Davy was proud that his lab was neat, clean, well organized, and everything was put away. And Berzelius got back to Sweden, and he wrote a letter to his friend and said, "A well-organized lab is a sign of a lazy chemist." Dewey, I just want to say that if Berzelius could see your lab now, he would be extraordinarily proud because it's clear you've never had a lazy day in your life. I'm extremely proud of you, too. Congratulations.
Our next graduate is Chinwiki Cosmos Izer, and I don't know how John did it. We just put it in alphabetical order, but it's also from John Lindsay.
Between the light that we can see and the heat that we feel from a flame, there's a region called the near-infrared region. And it turns out that half of the photons from the sun are in that near-infrared region. And there's a great deal of interest in trying to learn how to harness that otherwise untapped energy. As they synthesize compounds that it can absorb in that region and may be put to use in various kinds of solar energy conversion approaches. Eze brought to his work, or brings to his work, a meticulous understanding of organic chemistry. I had no doubt that Eze would complete his PhD, but I will say when he defended his thesis, and after you defend the thesis and the committee confers and the candidate comes back into the room, there was an enormous sigh of relief on Eze's part, the biggest I'd ever seen. I thought at the moment that this was like, you know, you can graduate summa cum laude, magna cum laude, or as they say, thank you, laude. But actually, on reflection, I realized it was something much deeper, that when a student pursues the PhD, they bring their hopes and dreams and their fears and all the expectations that others have on them. And for Eze, I think the expectations were enormous. They were not only from his family, but maybe his home country as well. And I'll just say, Eze, when you finally defended and you lifted that yoke off your shoulders, you're free now. You can fly. Congratulations.
Tuan Ho is going to be presented by Dr. Joshua Pierce.
Yeah, I thought John maybe mentored all the students in the department there for a minute. But man, it's great to be here with John. So when students join the department, they start looking for research groups. And typically that process involves many meetings and many interactions and many long processes. Tone contacted me about 6 hours before the deadline to select after a 3-month period of time in the department, and was very excited and eager to join the lab. And while I was quite confused at that moment about why it had taken so long, I couldn't be more happy that he did, because he's been a truly phenomenal student in the lab, has conducted several projects that have led to soon to be 3 publications, a number of external talks, and other national and international interactions. And really just a leader in the group, thinking about how we can use organic chemistry to make new molecules relevant for pharmaceuticals and other applications. And so it's really been a delight to mentor Tone and have him in the lab for the last 5 years, and I couldn't be more proud. Congratulations.
Next in line. Next in line is Megan Krieger, who is going to be presented by her advisor, Dr. Phoebe Glazer.
So I have a tendency, unfortunately, to be a little bit long-winded. I was told to keep it brief. So I'm going to say that Megan's research has really focused on trying to develop new chemical approaches to see what's happening during a biological process. This is something that's incredibly challenging. It's something by nature that is incredibly interdisciplinary. And Megan is the best, most well-rounded scientist I've worked with in my laboratory. She is a spectacular molecular biologist, cell biologist, synthetic chemist, understands photochemistry, and a number of analytical chemistry approaches that she's leveraged not just in support of her project, but other people's projects. I think that several members of the group are here to support her as she has supported them. Over her time in the lab, she has been really the heart and soul of the group. Her curiosity, her creativity, and her generosity in providing advice, emotional support, but also really just incredibly great scientific insights to other members of the group on their various projects. It's been just amazing to see, and I'm hugely appreciative that I had the opportunity to work with such a spectacular scientist, but most of all, such a wonderful person.
Sarah Cromer is going to be presented by her advisor, Dr. Felix Castellano.
Okay, so I see a big contingency of Sarah's family is here. This is great. They're all waving too. Maybe there'll be drinks later. So it's really an amazing time when you have a great student that you have worked with for 5 years. Actually, Sarah made the mistake of actually coming to my lab early. So she joined my lab the summer before her graduate career started. And I'm not sure if you feel that was a mistake or not, but it ended up getting her off to a relatively fast start. My group is very technically involved, and Sarah's basically mastered every aspect of it, as well as some of the techniques in my collaborators' laboratories. She even spent time at the Stanford Linear Accelerator working with 50 femtosecond X-ray pulses. I was told not to explain any of that today. But the combined work that she has done in my laboratory really has so far amounted to actually 15 publications in peer-reviewed journals. So she's an absolute superstar in the lab. But beyond that, she's also just a fantastic person, has been a wonderful mentor to so many people in my group, a lot of which I think are all standing in the back. I can't see them, but I know they came to look at them, they're all waving their hands. So they all came to support her today because she's really impacted their lives a lot. And she's, of course, impacted my life a lot because I've got to spend really 5 years with a wonderful person that has been just, a bright light in my laboratory. So congratulations, Sarah.
Joanna Murr is going to be presented by Dr. Vincent Lindsay.
All right, so it's really my pleasure to be able to present Joanna here today. Joanna is a fantastic chemist. She's worked in my lab on the synthesis of cyclobutanone, starting from highly strained compounds such as cyclopropanone. She's originally from Montego Bay in Jamaica. After high school, she took the courageous decision to come to the US to do her undergrad in biochemistry, where she graduated in 2020 from Florida Gulf Coast University. In the spring 2021, that's where I met her for the first time in our virtual graduate weekend, and I really realized that she was really a special person, super smart, very organized, and very passionate about the chemistry of strain ring, which fits perfectly with our laboratory, who developed new reactions involving strain ring chemistry. Over the years, she completed multiple projects and published 3 papers, either as first or second author. She also presented her work at multiple conferences, including Nobéché in Florida and New Orleans, CERMAX here in Durham, as well as the ACS National Meeting this spring in Atlanta. She also did, notably, one summer internship at Pfizer in the medicinal chemistry department, which is a great experience for her. And she was also a mentor to one undergraduate student in our lab, as well as one high school student through the ACS Project Seed program. She was also very much liked and involved in the department and has many friends, and she'll be missed very much. And so congratulations, Joanna.
Julian Guen is going to be presented by Dr. Jonathan Lindsay.
Chlorophyll is continually synthesized in green plants and degraded, and it turns out that the degradation products of chlorophyll seem to be highly nutritious, but no one really knows how that happens. Julia has worked on the synthesis of these compounds so we can understand their biomedical properties. One thing that she has done in addition to her chemistry in the lab is to do outreach experiments. She's gone into multiple middle schools and worked with the children to show them the beauty of science and convey her joy of science to them, and I think it's really been reciprocal. I think you also did this demonstration to the dean's office, which is kind of at the same level. Oh, but was that the one you had to dumb down? Just kidding. One day, she came into my office and asked me if I could help her choose an American name. And so we went through hundreds of names, and I thought that, my grandmother's 19th century name, Maud, didn't really work. And the 21st century chic names, everything from Michaela to Zainab, also didn't really work. And I realized that what really is the spirit of her is the beaming smile that she has almost all the time. And so we decided, after Julia Roberts, we would name her Julia. Congratulations.
Vinuta Ravi Nageshwaran is going to be presented by Dr. Maria Oliveira Hoya.
I don't think I need this. The very first lecture that I taught, it was 350 kids. They put a microphone on, and when I finally started to look at the front rows, they were all like, So hopefully this won't be too disturbing. Today is a special day. For me, it's extra special because Vinuta is a very special person. For starters, she is my very last graduate student. I retired January 2025, and for the past year and a half, I have had the treat of being there along the last year and a half of her journey, and we both growing in our fields and in our relationship. But the specialness was there when I first met you. She wanted to get into the department. She had been out of school for a number of years. She already had a family. She already had a kid. And it seems that many of those obstacles were kind of, right, challenges that she will pursue. And she came to see me because she wanted to be in the field of chemistry education research. And it was like an eye-opening because I was there exactly where she started is when I started my PhD. So that's where we began our journey. And I am especially thankful because you have brought me the joy of changing a relationship that starts mentor and advisee to one in which I consider you a colleague. You're outstanding, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Tran, please come down, and her research advisor doesn't need introduction anymore.
So Feng is working on designing and synthesizing compounds that maybe someday could be used in an artificial leaf for solar energy conversion, and this requires understanding how molecules pack together. One thing that has really impressed me about Feng is that she's always trying to learn something new. And even in her last year of graduate school, after she'd been here for five and a half years, right? She asked if she could take a course, which most students have fled after their second year or first year. She went and took this course and really deepened her knowledge. One of my disappointments initially with Feng was that her English comprehension, her listening comprehension is really very poor, I felt. But over the years, she was extraordinarily successful. And after a while, to my chagrin, I realized that she has an uncanny ability to not hear any of my bad ideas and just work on my good ideas. Congratulations, Feng.
We will have a photo session later. So now we will switch gears a little bit and we will introduce our graduates who are today receiving Master of Science degree. Owen Hughes, please come down, and he will be introduced by his research advisor, Gavin Williams, whom I awarded last graduation ceremony award of the best dressed faculty member, so he still holds the title.
It's my pleasure to recognize Owen Hughes today as he receives his hood during today's ceremony. Owen's work in our group focused on finding new ways to diversify molecular scaffolds using biosynthetic tools. His research involved technically demanding, detail-oriented work at the interface of chemistry and biology that required both technical rigor and persistence. Owen approached problems with curiosity and resilience, and when experiments occasionally didn't behave as expected, he used those moments to refine his thinking and move forward in different ways. Owen has also been a reliable and supportive group member, contributing to a collaborative and positive environment. Owen now begins the next phase of his career at a local company called Cambrex, where I'm confident he's going to make a strong impact, applying his skills to real-world challenges in chemical and pharmaceutical development. Owen, it's been an absolute privilege mentoring you. Congratulations on this well-deserved accomplishment, and we're all excited to see what you do next.
Alexandria Kerr is going to be introduced by her research advisor, Sharon de LeBlanc, and Professor Reza Giladi. Sharon, please.
Congratulations. I'm here to present Alexandria Kerr. Y'all might not recognize me. I'm Sharon LeBlanc. I'm in physics. You heard that right. So Alexandria joined my lab in 2024 as a chemistry PhD student, and she very quickly turned things around to learn the physics and the chemistry and the biology. She's been working on a FRET system, so we use a tool called FRET to measure nanoscale distances between biomolecules, and she has learned all of the skills that she needs, and she has characterized a FRET standard, and she's going to carry that forward so that we can better understand ribosome assembly, which is an important pathway. Again, congratulations. I want to shout out Mom, who came all the way from St. Lucia. Alexandria grew up in Jamaica. Where's Mom? There's Mom, yeah. I see you. So Alexandria's going to continue in my lab on the PhD track, and we're going to use the tools that she's developed to better understand our biological systems. So.
Our next graduate, Michael Krish. His research advisor, Yaroslava Yenling, is at the moment conducting graduation ceremony at her home Department of Material Science and Engineering, so I will step in for her. So Michael did work on molecular dynamic simulations of cellulose synthase. This is a huge protein complex which is responsible for production of the cellulose, which is one of the most common materials on this planet. And his work, also theoretical, is going to guide not only the work of the students who will follow his steps, but also a lot of work in experimental research and engineering. Thank you. We will call Yaroslava for pictures. So next is the Peter Lowing and his advisor, Professor Jonathan Lindsay.
So about 3.5 years ago, I think it was in December, after I'd finished teaching Organic 1, a student accosted me in the hallway. It was Peter. And he told me he wanted to do research in my group. And I said, I don't take freshmen. I really want students with more experience. And he persisted. And he persisted again. I finally said, okay, we'll try it. And Peter's turned out to be a phenomenal young scientist. He's a rising star, and he quickly in our lab assumed a leadership position, has created new molecules for use in treating cancer. Peter's going to start the MD PhD program at University of South Carolina in a couple months. Students who are as good as Peter are, we often say, the cream rises to the top, and there's very little a faculty member can do to damage them or really even to help them. And I think if there's anything I've tried to help Peter learn is 3 words that he has never before had to utter in his life, and that is, I don't know. It is okay to say that once in a while, Peter. Anyway, congratulations. We have great expectations for what you're going to accomplish.
Connor McCormick is going to be presented by Dr. Felix Castellano.
Okay, so it's really a pleasure for me to be here with Connor. Connor, unlike John's former student that actually didn't listen to all of his bad ideas, Connor unfortunately listened to a lot of my bad ideas early on, and I think suffered for it quite a bit. But the good thing is, with his tenacity, he did finally manage to get the project on par with where we needed to be, and generated a whole series of interesting molecules based on rhenium. Most of you probably have no idea what rhenium is. It's just up there. It's element 75. But the idea really is that these molecules now are poised to actually run photochemical transformations in organic synthesis. And none of that would have been possible without all of the arduous work that Connor put into this project. So congratulations and good luck on your next steps.
Ruth McGee. Her research advisor, Dr. Wei Chen Chang, is out of town, but he left me with very detailed instructions that I printed out so I can read the introduction. Ruth is the proud Carolinian who earned her Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry from NC State. And then she saw the light, it's not in the text, it's from me, and she joined the Department of Chemistry. So she is a wonderful person and a thoughtful, excellent teammate to work with. Beyond the work and life in lab, she enjoys swimming and generously shares her enthusiasm for the sport by coaching young children. Congratulations, Ruth. And this concludes our graduate students list.
And so the next part of our ceremony will be graduate awards. It's a pleasure for me to announce the following departmental research and teaching award recipients for academic year 2025 to 2026. These awards are given to graduate students who have made outstanding contributions to our department's research and teaching missions. Each of these comes with a $300 monetary award. The Miles F, and we're going to have to increase that in future years because of inflation, right? So, but given Professor Lindsay's comments, I don't know if the dean will give us any more money. The Miles F. Anderson Award in Teaching. Miles was a graduate student working in the Feldheim Research Group who unfortunately passed away suddenly in September of 2002. He had 3 bachelor's degrees, one in chemistry, one in biology, and one in environmental science from NC Wesleyan College. Miles was dedicated to his students and admired by all of them. One of his favorite sayings was, "Go for it." This year's recipient is Dr. Joanna Muir. Our next award, number 2 out of 3, is the Robert A. Osteryoung Award in Research. The award is named for Professor Robert Osteryoung in recognition of his contributions to the development of our general chemistry program, including being one of the pioneers in seeking funding for the Fox Science Teaching Laboratory, successfully seeking additional funding for general chemistry, catalyzing curricular reform, and for the recruitment of faculty dedicated to teaching general chemistry. This year's recipient is Dr. Sarah Cromer. And our final graduate award is the Percy Levon Julian Award in Research. He was known worldwide as a trailblazer both in the world of chemistry and as an advocate for the plight of black scientists. Born in 1899 in Birmingham, Alabama, he faced many struggles as a black scientist, but was finally recognized as a genius and a pioneer in the field of organic chemistry. This year's award is not being shared, it's not being split. We're actually giving 2 of them, so we're just doubling it. And the first recipient is Dr. Dewey Chung, and the second recipient is Malcolm Huguenin. The next part of our program is going to be our student speaker, and I would like to bring to the front Cade Brady and Gracie McNair to introduce our student speaker.
Hello, everyone, and thank you all for being here today. We are so excited to gush about the wonderful Anuja Koirala. Anuja is one of those people where I don't know how we met or became friends. I think I got kidnapped one day during Calculus 2. I introduced her to Dolly Parton, did some terrible British accents, sorry, Dr. Williams, and then we became inseparable.
The 3 of us are known lovingly in the department as the trio, or the informal PR team. Every trio has a wild card, an organizer, and an anchor. Anuja is our anchor. She is kind, loyal, and selfless.
To introduce her and give her a highlight reel feels almost impossible. Anuja's impact on this community can be seen not just in the organization she's led, but also in the people she supported along the way.
From fostering inclusion through the Society of Multicultural Scientists to strengthening connections within Alpha Chi Sigma, she has continuously used her leadership to serve others.
And above all that, I've never met a kinder individual who manages to light up every single room she walks in.
We are so proud to call you our best friend.
We're not done.
To get a degree in chemistry, you have to be a little unhinged and be able to embrace the unknown.
But you don't have to do it alone. We have cried, crashed out, lived, laughed, and loved our way through this program.
Anuja has been our rock throughout these 4 years, and she's been that for so many students across the department and the college. It is our absolute pleasure to introduce this year's student speaker, the strong,
The beautiful,
the intelligent,
the kind,
Anuja Koirala!
clinking and clanking. I'm gonna put this down just a little bit. Okay, can everyone hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay, good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, and staff, and a special welcome to the NC State University Department of Chemistry class of 2026. Yay! Thank you to my dear friends, Gracie and Cade, for introducing me. That was amazing. As you may already know, my name is Anuja Koirala, and I have the distinct honor of addressing you all on this joyous day. Today marks an incredible milestone in our academic journey. When I think back to our freshman year, I remember how many of us walked into our general chemistry class unsure of what the next 4 years would hold for us. What we didn't know yet was that nearly every chemistry class would bring us back to Dabney Hall, which would soon become a second home for many of us. At the time, we may have felt a mix of emotions: fear, excitement, anxiety, confidence. But despite those uncertainties, we decided to dedicate ourselves to the part of chemistry that excites each one of us the most. And along the way, the department gave us more than just an education. It gave us an opportunity to grow as people, to explore different areas like research and outreach, and most importantly, it showed us kindness, and that kindness is something I will never forget. When I first started college, I had one clear goal: to go to graduate school and earn my PhD. I had tunnel vision. I believed that achieving this goal was what defined success, especially when it seemed like everyone around me was doing the same path. Boy, did my plans change quite a lot. As a first-generation college student, navigating college wasn't easy. I didn't know where to begin. Was I supposed to focus entirely on academics, build a social life? Even something as simple as choosing which dining hall to eat at felt overwhelming. Shout out Fountain, love Fountain. I was surrounded by opportunities, yet I felt lost in trying out where I fit. Eventually, I took a step back and asked myself an important question: why am I measuring my future against someone else's? I came across a quote that stayed with me throughout undergrad. Maybe you aren't where you want to be, and maybe you aren't where others are, but you are nowhere near where you started. Every life, every story is unique and beautiful in its own way. And that is something I want all of us to remember today. Let's take a moment to celebrate how far we've come, not in comparison to anyone else's, but in recognition of our own journeys. I would like to thank this department for consistently supporting me and the undergraduate students, for introducing me to lifelong friends like Kate and Gracie, and for connecting me with professors who have guided me in more ways than they know. I unexpectedly found a family in Dabney Hall. Whether it was a hard chemistry class or a similar life experience, simple words of encouragement helped dissolve my self-doubt and imposter syndrome. It empowered me to believe in my potential as a scientist and as a student. This experience fueled my passion to create the same sense of community for others in the department and university. I implemented the think and do attitude of NC State by turning my personal challenges into motivation to make real change around me. I found community. As I progressed through college, I discovered how much I valued connecting with people and others. Listening to their stories, sharing mine, and helping people feel seen and supported is what made me happy. That's what sparked my passion for creating spaces where everyone feels they belong, especially for those who might not see themselves reflected in a room always. And remember, the strongest communities are those that embrace inclusion and empowerment. They create synergy, making a whole greater than the sum of its parts. I thank everyone who has been a part of my journey in creating safe spaces for all students, not just in the Department of Chemistry, but at NC State as a whole. I would also like to dedicate this moment to my beautiful parents, Amma and Baba, which are right there. You have supported me through every step in my journey, even as my goals continue to change. Your love and encouragement gave me freedom to grow to who I am today. Because of you, I was able to become a leader, oh my God. I already messed up. I mixed up leader and tutor together. I was able to become a leader, a tutor, a friend, and an activist, and fully experience everything in college that I oh so wish I could have shared with you both. You made it possible for me to follow a path you have never had the chance to experience yourself. Every accomplishment I have earned, my awards, my stoles, my cords, my medals, my cap and gown, and this degree has always been for the both of you. Don't cry, oh my God. Thank you for everything you have done for me. Lastly, and most importantly, I would like to recognize the students around the world, those who will not have a chance to walk across this stage, those whose education has been interrupted by circumstances beyond their control, and those whose homes, schools, and futures have been disrupted or taken from them because of conflicts in the world right now. These students deserve their moment and spotlight as graduates just as much as we do. Today, as we celebrate our achievements, let us also recognize the privilege that we hold here today. Let us not take this moment for granted, but instead carry it forward with gratitude, with awareness, and with a commitment to use our education to create a world where opportunities like this are not a privilege, but a right. But we are lucky to have furthered our education when many have not been able to. Graduates, as we leave Dabney today, know that you are a star. You have worked so hard to make it here, from restless nights to random hangouts with your friends in the Court of Carolinas. Everything was worth it. Be confident, be unique, and never stop being yourself. And now today, we stand here as graduates. Today is the day we undergraduate students become alumni of NC State. And as cliche as it sounds, this is not the end, but just the beginning. Congratulations, class of 2026, we did it! Thank you.
Thank you, Anuja, for those inspiring words. The reflections that we have, given what you have just said, are very much in everyone's minds, given the conflicts that we have and how they are interrupting other students' successes. But we will also have the speeches being memorable for, and on tape, for what you also said that made us all laugh. And that's really what life is about, right? In the face of sorrow, there's also laughter, and that we have all of that here today. In recognition of our bachelor's graduates, I'd like to call to the podium Drs. Kirsten Kramer and Mary Martin, the co-directors of our undergraduate programs.
Good afternoon. We would like to start by extending a warm welcome to all the friends and family who have joined, whether in person or via the live stream, to celebrate this spring 2026 graduating class. To the graduating seniors, we are proud of you and excited to celebrate your successes today. To receive a degree in chemistry requires a lot of hard work. It can be time-consuming, it forces you to think critically, it is challenging. There likely were many late nights and many early mornings. You have worked tirelessly, dedicating many hours to reach your goals. I hope you can take a moment to reflect on all the obstacles you battled and the challenges you faced and feel proud of yourselves for all that you have accomplished. Our department offers 2 bachelor's degrees. The Bachelor of Science is American Chemical Society certified degree that trains students to directly enter the chemical workforce or pursue an advanced degree in the chemical sciences and related fields. The Bachelor of Arts degree is selected by students who wish to couple a secondary discipline to a core set of chemistry courses and that generally seek professional opportunities outside of traditional lab work. At this time, we would like to introduce the students graduating with the Bachelor of Arts degree. You also receive a flower with further instructions to come. So can the BA students arise and line up down here? And if the parents would like to at any point come down and take pictures as they are getting their diploma cover, please feel free to do so. First, we have Zainab Alim. Carson Armstrong. Lauren Conway. Rachel Edwards. Akayla Fields. Nancy Humphreys. Cecily Huntley. Ariana Infante. Olivia Kimbrough. Anuja Koirala. Juman Oda. Christina Patson. Lawson Rhodes. Savannah Smith. Zainab Bezirolu. That concludes our Bachelor of Arts. At this point in time, we'd like to ask all the Bachelor of Sciences to come up and line up. And again, family, feel free to move up towards the front to get pictures. David Alleman. Jason Amicone. Cade Brady. Eleanor Burns. Samuel Coleman. Emily Sear. Daniel Four. Akil Jayanti. Alex Johnson. Akshata Kakade. Evan King. Savannah Kozar. Gracie McNair. Aaron Monteith. David Speckart. Logan Tedder. Steven Vega. Isabel Weld. And at this moment, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Martin to talk about the Chemistry Honors Program.
So the Chemistry Honors Program offers students a challenging program of advanced study where they can develop research skills as well as written and oral communication skills. Students in the program are required to participate in a minimum of 2 semesters of independent research, complete at least 9 credit hours of advanced coursework in chemistry, with most students taking graduate courses. They must maintain a minimum overall GPA of 3.5 and present an honor thesis during their last semester. That could be a written thesis or an oral presentation. And so we have our director, Anna Eisen, who will come forward to present some gifts to them. So we'll have Aaron, Cade, Akshata, Cecily, and Eleanor come forward, please. And then we also do have an award for the best thesis, and that award goes to Cade Brady. All right, thank you all. So we would now like to announce this year's recipients of the Undergraduate Student Awards. So the Department of Chemistry Outstanding Senior Award in Scholarships honors a graduating senior who exemplifies extraordinary academic engagement, either bridging concepts across disciplinary boundaries or developing depth of expertise within a singular discipline. This student not only has engaged in coursework and research, bridging disciplinary boundaries as well as achieving depth within chemical biology, but also has excelled in many graduate level courses here at NC State. This year's recipient is Cade Brady. The Department of Chemistry Outstanding Senior Award in Research honors a graduating senior who has added to the body of knowledge in their research discipline. This student has demonstrated initiative, independence, and positive contributions to an active research program. This year's research award is being given to a student that has shown the potential to be an amazing independent researcher and has professional promise in the area of organic chemistry. This year's recipient is Aaron Monteith. The The Department of Chemistry Catalyst for Change Award honors a graduating senior who has achieved significant accomplishments in the realm of service. This student is a leader who used her time, talents, and intellect to improve their community, both within the College of Sciences as well as the Department of Chemistry. This recipient was chosen for her mentorship, service, leadership, and authentic human connection with others in the department. This year's recipient is Anuja Korala. The Titanium Award is given to the student that exhibits the strong and resilient properties of this metal inside and outside the classroom. This year's recipient was chosen because of her seeking discomfort and growth has led to her becoming the glue for her class, as well as for her leadership among and support of her peers. This year's recipient is Gracie McNair. This year's Outstanding Freshman in Chemistry Award was chosen because of his outstanding performance in both organic chemistry lectures as well as in the labs. This year's recipient is Broderick Bollinger. The American Institute of Chemists Incorporated Student Award Program honors outstanding seniors majoring in chemistry and are given in recognition of demonstrated ability, leadership, and professional promise. The students receiving this award were chosen because of their demonstrated academic excellence in the classroom and their potential in their upcoming graduate studies. This year's recipients are Eleanor Burns and Aaron Monty. So our national organization is the American Chemical Society, and they have a series of undergraduate awards that recognize outstanding achievement by undergraduate students in major subdisciplines of chemistry. Students receiving these awards have dedicated themselves to excel both in the classroom and in the laboratory. This year's recipient of the ACS Award in Inorganic Chemistry was chosen for outstanding performance in inorganic chemistry coursework. This year's recipient of the ACS Award in Inorganic Chemistry is Lauren Conway. This year's recipient of the ACS Award in Analytical Chemistry was chosen for excellent performance in the classroom, as well as her contributions in research at the interface of biology and analytical chemistry. This student's contributions have led to 2 NIH grant submissions and numerous awards. This year's recipient of the ACS Award in Analytical Chemistry is Akshata Kakade. This year's recipient of the ACS Award in Organic Chemistry was chosen for her top performance in organic chemistry coursework, in addition to her eloquence and contributions in the lab. This year's recipient of the ACS Award in Organic Chemistry is Juman Oda. This year's recipient of the ACS Award in Physical Chemistry was chosen for his excellence in the classroom, research contributions, and his professional promise in chemistry and chemical engineering. This year's recipient of the ACS Award in Physical Chemistry is Akil Jayanti. The Royal Society of Chemistry Certificate of Undergraduate Excellence recognizes outstanding achievement in the study of chemical sciences. The students receiving this award are recognized for their exceptional dedication to coursework and engagement in undergraduate chemistry research. This year's recipient is Cade Brady. So at this point, we'll pause. We would like for all of our graduates, undergraduates and graduates alike, to take a look around the room, and you'll see that you're surrounded by many people who supported you along the way. At this moment, we would like for you to stand and to share your carnation with someone who has impacted your journey or whose support has been meaningful to you.
Okay, if our graduates could return to the front, please. Careful of the steps. Okay, very well. We will continue with the latter portion of our graduation today. It's a pleasure to call up Professor Dave Muddiman, who will introduce our alumni speaker.
A lot of people here. Wow. So it's a real honor today to introduce our commencement speaker, William Trent, who's an alumni of NC State, where he got a degree in polymer chemistry, and then he went on to Harvard University to get a degree in management. They say there's no Renaissance man or woman anymore in this world because there's, it's a very complex space that we work in. But then there's Bill. So he's a very amazing person. He's not only scientifically very grounded, he's a business leader. He's led or is leading over 8 startup companies that have been extraordinarily successful. To give you an idea of that success, is the sales of his current businesses is pushing towards $100 million a year, and so that's quite impressive. I had the great opportunity to meet Bill at a College of Sciences event. And within a few minutes, I felt like I had known Bill for decades. He's a very personable person, very grounded, and with a strong sense of humility. And so he also generously donates his time as the vice chairman of the Cost Foundation Board and serves on the board of the directors of NC State's investment fund, which manages over $2.5 billion a year. And I found out today from Bill that we're going to get 1% of that a year in chemistry. So that's really good. So we're good now, Reza. So, but just to recap this a little bit, is that Bill's a scientist, he's an entrepreneur, he's a people person, and he has a strong sense of humility. And you're like, could there possibly be more, right? And there is. Bill also played football for the Wolfpack. As all of you know, all the graduates know, and we just heard about from many people, chemistry is a really tough degree. And then you add on to that of having a scholarship, an academic scholarship, and also a scholarship in football. I didn't believe him when he told me this when we were at this event with the College of Sciences. I thought I did, but I wasn't sure. I thought he was pulling my chain. So then I checked ChatGPT. And I wanted to find out how many people have ever gotten a degree in chemistry, also played football. And it said, what are you asking? There's no answer to this question. So he's a very unique individual. So actually 5 results came back, but none of them were chemistry. They were all some superfluous majors. We won't talk about that. But anyway, so what an amazing individual Bill is. And I really want to thank Bill for taking the time out today from his busy schedule to come to share with us some wisdom. And so please join me in welcoming Bill Trent back to NC State. So give him a
Wow, that's interesting when you hear somebody talking about you. So when Dr. Muddiman asked me to do this, 2 things came to mind really quickly. One was, wow, what an honor and exciting, and the energy in this room. And who says scientists are boring, by the way? Okay. Second thought that came into my mind was, how many people did Dave ask before I said yes? And it must have been dozens and dozens and dozens. But I'm really happy to be here. And before I get started, I want to tell an NC State story. We all have NC State stories, and we're all building new NC State stories, including today, okay? So this is an NC State story that I'm going to tell at the risk of embarrassing my family who's here, which has never stopped me ever. It is a story that happened recently. So this past October was the installation of our new Chancellor Howell. And there was a big ceremony over at Reynolds Coliseum, and I was invited, and I brought my wife with me. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. And we parked over the Dan Allen deck, because there's no parking here ever, anywhere, period. And we're walking up to Reynolds, and we're passing people, and they're going, hi, hey, how's it going? Thumbs up, Wolfpack sign, great, hey, hey, hey. Just kept going on and on and on as we're walking. And she looks over at me and she goes, do you know all these people? I'm like, no. I said, just don't worry about it. I'll tell you about it later, okay? So we keep going. We go into the ceremony. We have a wonderful ceremony. It's all great. And I want to preface this by saying, how many people think I look like Randy Woodson? Okay. Now, before this event, this stuff had been happening all the time. I'd been over at PR, over at Mitch's, walking around campus. People, sir, good, say, hey, sir, yeah. And I was like, so then I figured it out, okay, but I let it go. I told Lisa, I said, don't worry about it. Well, I'll talk to you about this later. We're walking back to the car after the ceremony. In this golf cart that had a couple of old alumni in it, they were being shuttled back to their car. They passed me, they slow down and stop and go, Randy, do you want to ride? And I said, no, I'm good. Now, I was holding Lisa's hand as we're going to our car, and I said, she goes, wow, this is crazy, and this is amazing. And she goes, but this is not good. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not good? This is awesome. And she goes, no, this is not good. While you may look like Randy Woodson, I do not look like Susan Woodson. So I had to call Randy and give him a heads up. And now he's no longer our chancellor. Good afternoon, graduates, faculty, families, and friends. It is an honor to stand before you today at this important milestone, one that represents years of hard work, discipline, curiosity, and persistence. To the graduating class of the Department of Chemistry, congratulations. You've chosen a field that sits at the very heart of innovation, one that quietly and sometimes dramatically shapes the world around us. When I think about chemistry, I just don't think about reactions in a lab or equations on a board. I think about transformation, because that's what chemistry really is at its core, the study of change. And today, you are all part of a remarkable transformation of your own. Your time here has prepared you in ways that go far beyond technical knowledge. You've learned how to solve problems when the answers aren't obvious. You've learned how to think critically, to test assumptions, and to stay resilient when experiments fail, because as we all know, they often do. In that process, you built something even more valuable than expertise. You've built judgment. And that brings me to something I want to spend a little more time with today, perseverance. There's a temptation, especially in today's world, to believe that success should come quickly. You'll see headlines, we all do, about overnight breakthroughs, rapid exits, instant recognition. But in reality, meaningful success, lasting success, is almost always slow. It's built over time, layer by layer, iteration by iteration. In chemistry, we understand this intuitively. Reactions don't always proceed at the pace we want. Systems sometimes need to reach equilibrium. Processes require refinement. The same is true in your careers and in your lives ahead. You don't need to rush. In fact, rushing can be one of the most expensive mistakes that you make. When you move too fast, you skip the learning. When you miss the nuance. You overlook the small signals that often matter the most. You overlook there's real value in taking your time to understand your craft and understanding it deeply, whether it's in a lab, a manufacturing plant, a startup, or a corporate environment. Earlier in your career, your job is not to be impressive. You're already impressive. Geez, look around, see what we saw today. How impressive is this? Your job is not to be impressive. Your job is to be curious, to learn, to absorb, to ask better questions every day. If you commit to learning every day, even in small increments, you will compound knowledge in a way that sets you apart over time. Think of it like a reaction pathway. Each step may seem small, but together they lead to a meaningful outcome. The people who succeed are not always the fastest. They are the most consistent. There will be moments when progress feels slow, it always does, when experiments don't work, when your ideas aren't immediately recognized, when others around you seem to be moving faster than you are. That's where perseverance matters most. Perseverance is not just about pushing through difficulty. It's also about maintaining belief in the process when the results are not yet visible. It's also about showing up, prepared, doing the work, and trusting that progress is happening, even when it's not obvious. And equally important, it's about learning how to adapt. In chemistry, when a pathway doesn't work, you don't abandon the goal. You adjust the conditions. You change the catalyst. You rethink the mechanism. The same approach applies to your career. Stay flexible. Stay open. Be willing to pivot without losing direction. Another small piece of advice is don't let anxiety about the future rob you of the present. Ambition is a good thing. Wanting to achieve, to build, to create impact, that's all important. But when ambition turns into impatience, it can work against you. If you're constantly focused on what's next, you risk missing what's right in front of you. The opportunity to learn, to build relationships, and develop mastery. Take the time to get good at something really good. Because mastery creates options, and options create freedom. As you move forward, you will also discover that your career is less like a straight line and is more like a series of experiments. Some will work exactly as you plan it, many will not. That's not a failure, that's data. Treat your experiences the same way you would treat your results in your lab. Analyze them, learn from them, use them to inform your next move. And through it all, stay grounded in your values. Don't compromise those. Chemistry is a powerful discipline. The knowledge you carry can be used to solve some of the world's most pressing challenges: sustainability, healthcare, energy, materials, and on and on. But with that power comes responsibility. Lead with integrity. Make decisions you can stand behind. Build things that matter. And don't underestimate, never underestimate the role of people in your life. And I know you won't, because I see what you've built here, the culture that we have here. No significant achievement happens in isolation. The relationships you build with your colleagues, your mentors, your partners will shape your paths in many ways that you can't fully predict today. Invest in those relationships. Listen more than you speak. Be someone others trust and want to work with. You'll find that success is not just about what you know, it's about how you work with others, how you communicate, how you show up when it matters. Finally, take a moment to appreciate where you are right now. This achievement is not small. It represents years of effort, hard work, sacrifice, and support from all of those around you: family, friends, professors, mentors. Be proud of that and carry that gratitude with you every day. The world you're entering is complex and fast-moving and full of challenges. It always is. But it's also full of opportunity, especially for those equipped with the tools that you now possess and that you gained at NC State. So go forward with confidence, but also with patience. Stay curious, learn every day, take your time building something meaningful, persevere when things get difficult, and trust that the work that you're putting in, especially when it feels slow, is shaping something more valuable than a quick success ever could. And so I would like for you to do something for me right now. If everybody could stand up, please. I just want to give a sincere thank you, and we all do, this wonderful faculty, staff, this university, to thank you for coming to NC State. Thank you for graduating. Okay. Thank you, grandparents, parents, family, siblings, friends, and everybody that supported you through this journey and will continue to support you going forward. Thank you very much. And I would also personally like to thank you, because when I leave here this afternoon and I go back to work, which I will, and I will walk into my office and they will ask me, the first thing they'll ask me, was, how did the speech go? And I said, you know what? I think it went okay. They gave me a standing ovation. Go Pack!
Please have a seat. We do have a gift, so not just is it a standing ovation, it's a token of our appreciation. It says, in recognition of his enduring commitment to advancing science education and innovation at North Carolina State University, and for inspiring our graduates as this year's alumni speaker, the Department of Chemistry is honored to present William Bill Trent III, class of '81, with this token of our appreciation and friendship. Okay, we're in the home stretch. There's actually only one page left. Yeah, everyone's cheering that, right? They want the food. So, a quick thank you to Valerie Bada, Robin Tanner, and Nada Nahas, because without them, this ceremony would not have happened. We're almost done, and after these closing remarks, I invite everyone to join us in the foyer for some light refreshments. But before we get there, for closing remarks, I'm going to forego our normal tradition where I beg for money so that we can get a photographer for the whole time, or a bigger room. I'm going to instead ask for Professor Kay Sandberg to come to the front, please. I'm going to move to the side, because this is not about anybody but her. So Professor Sandberg, she's a little surprised. Professor Sandberg will be retiring from NC State after 28 years of service. In addition to her awards for teaching, including the Gertrude Cox Award, being named an Alumni Distinguished Undergraduate Professors, nobody look at me, look at her. As well as the Provost Award for Excellence in Teaching for the College of Sciences, here are some stunning facts regarding Professor Sandberg's commitment to teaching. Number of courses taught, 252. You might want to hold your applause, this is going to get lengthy. Number of WebAssign questions created. I created one in my career. Professor Sandberg, 10,877. Number of volunteer teaching assistants trained and mentored, 250. Maybe including some in this room, I think that's true. Yes? Number of student grades submitted to registration and records, 22,146. It's astounding. The last one is number of letters of recommendation written, and for those of you who've ever written a letter of recommendation, it takes forever. Now's the time to get it, right? And because we can actually make this an even 2,000 with a little bit more effort, but 1,933 letters of recommendation. And I'm going to hand this nameplate for your office. You have an emeritus office. I'm going to hand this nameplate to you. Hold on to that for now, but hang on. Please give it back, because after the photos, it has to be installed by Alan Harville, right? Because it has your new title on it. So Dr. Sandberg stands in front of the classroom one last time as professor. However, the paperwork has been signed off by the Department of Chemistry and at the college level as well. And I'll ask the audience to conclude our ceremony today. And so this will be the last part of our ceremony with an extended round of applause for your lifetime title of Kay Sandberg, Professor Emerita. Congratulations.